Psychology in the news.
Sam, where are you today?
Just here in Monte Carlo, playing a few card games. I just played some baccarat, playing some blackjack now.
So the topic of today's class is emotion.
Part of the role of emotion, as we shall see later, is its social signaling function. We want to signal to others how we are feeling and be able to read other people's emotions, but there are some contexts in which that's not true. So, for example, in poker, we may want to hide our emotions. So if we have a very good hand or a very poor hand, we may want to hide that emotions that we might otherwise feel, the feeling of being either pleased or worried. We might want to hide those emotions from the opponents in the game because we don't want them to know. And of course, this is why we have the famous expression, the poker face, which what that means is essentially hiding emotions. And professional poker players will of course look for what they call tells, which are these kind of accidental signals about how you're feeling. Professional poker players are very good at not giving away tells and not revealing any of their emotions. And even so much so that other professional poker players can't see how they're feeling, whether they're feeling excited about a good hand or worried about a bad hand.
Is there anything that they can do to tell whether people are bluffing?
Well, what this one set of researchers did is they watched many poker games and they could look at other ways that our emotions might leak out. So, you know, the face is the most obvious, perhaps, place to look, but they were looking at other ways our body language may reveal our emotions. And what they found was by looking at the smoothness with which the players pushed their chips onto the table, that was actually a clue as to how strong their hand was. So when people had a strong hand, they pushed the chips into the center of the table while they were making their bets with a smooth flowing motion, whereas when they had a bad hand, but were in fact pretending to have a good hand, they were more kind of hesitant, and kind of that internal hesitancy was reflected in a kind of a less fluid, a more kind of jerky motion as they threw their chips in.
A sign that emotion is more than just a subjective feeling in our heads, but something that might be visible in our bodies. I think that is fascinating and something we should talk about not at a casino.